This is how you feel when you think about your style.
So you end up just wearing this every single day. Here's your problem. Your wardrobe is but don't worry, it's fixable. Our goals with our fashion is to find an authentic voice that lifts us up. We want it to be easy, seamless, and simultaneously feel like our own.
Tell me how! Got bippity-boppity boop by the magic man.
No, I have strategies, don't worry, but it will feel like magic. Let's hammer home the goals your wardrobe needs to fill, because the whole, let's start at the very beginning, isn't gonna cut it in this situation. We need to know what our wardrobe needs are and what our wardrobe goals are and how to mesh them together. 5 quick questions. 1, what is your biggest wardrobe function? Now, this doesn't mean like actually clothe you. It means what do you need your wardrobe to do for you? Do you need it to be versatile? Do you need it to always look good? Do you need it to be really comfortable? If you had to pick one function, what would it do? For me personally, it's versatility. I need it to go from traveling to chasing a toddler, giving you style examples, and then also feel like myself. So versatility is my biggest wardrobe function. Number 2, how do you want to feel or appear in any professional setting? Do you want to be authoritative? Do you want to be refined? Do you want to be gracious? Do you want to appear friendly? Number 3, how do you want to appear or feel in a casual setting? Friendly, gracious, sophisticated, sexy, elegant. Here are some examples. Number 4, what are your clothing non-negotiables? So if you're on a dating show, your perfect piece of clothing would be... So my ideal piece of clothing would be easy to care for, versatile, and have the perfect fit. Other options would include timeless, designer label, easygoing, comfortable, modest, flattering. And number 5, how do you like your clothes to fit? Tight, loose, free-flowing, semi-fitted, or form-fitted, or some combination of the two. This is a great time to go back to that photo album in your camera, look at all the winning outfits, and decide, is there a common thread of how I like the fit of my clothes within this album? So the data can be your friend. So that is just examining what you need from a wardrobe. Let's get down into what your wardrobe actually consists of. The clothes. So you've got your clothes, and you got your clothes, but you want them to just be clothes.
What are you talking about?
But in order for them to be clothes, we need to get the balance right. So let's break it down. You have your basics and you have your non-basics. And no matter whether you have a minimalist wardrobe or the trendiest wardrobe out there, you still have these two categories within your wardrobe. Let's go over what I specifically mean by these terms because it may not be exactly what you think. Basics, by design, are pieces that are streamlined, simple, minimal design elements, and they're not necessarily your go-to pieces. For instance, this t-shirt is a basic. It is a basic because it is streamlined, simple design elements, and it can go to most of the places in your life and still look okay. Can you wear it to dinner? Yes. Can you wear it to a casual work environment? Yes. Can you wear it to a baseball game? Yes. Whereas your favorite leather motorcycle jacket is not a basic. It may be a go-to piece that you like wearing, but it is not a basic in your wardrobe. There are too many design elements within it for it to be considered, in my definition, a basic. Gabby, you are being so nitpicky. Yes, it's my specialty if you're new around here. But if you want a wardrobe that works, you have to look past your basic pieces and your go-to pieces and understand the balance and strategy of your entire wardrobe. Also, the analogies. So if you're cooking and you love to use Tabasco on your food, you may not put Tabasco on everything. Tabasco on ice cream. No, thank you. We are looking for the pantry items of your closet. So here are some examples of basics. Remember, streamlined, simple design, minimal details. Now let's get into your non-basics. And we're gonna get even a little more nitpicky and we're gonna separate these into two categories because it can be a spectrum of your non-basic. Because we've narrowly defined basic, so the non-basic category is a little bit more expansive. So for non-basics, we have your non-basic interest pieces, and we have your costume pieces.
Trick or treat!
So your non-basic interest piece would be something like a moto jacket. It's very easily wearable, you wear it often, it has a little bit more design details than your basics, but it's somewhat flexible. Now, with costume pieces, we don't mean like costume. Costume pieces, a piece of clothing with several unique design elements that prevents it from being easily transitional. They are usually highly memorable, need specific accessories to complete the look, and can sometimes even be highly event specific. So most people who have a lot of trouble with their wardrobes have way too many costume pieces in it. If you need a little bit more guidance on the 3 different categories that we've talked about, I have this chart linked below so you can pin it to your Pinterest boards for easy reference. And we're back to the analogies. Oh, good. The analogies are back. Of course they are. This is a little town. Your basics, your true basics, are all the roads in the little town. They take you from brunch, to errands, to shopping, to school pickup, to your job, to dinner, and then back home again. They do it all. They connect all the different town elements. That's why we're making sure that our wardrobes have those basic pieces, because they are the bridges and roads between all of our different wardrobe elements. So our non-basic interest pieces, as we went over, are the pieces that have more design details, are a bit more unique, but are still fairly regular staples within our wardrobe. So for instance, they don't necessarily transition to every aspect of our lives. They are more like destinations within your town. For instance, a silk slip skirt. That is a tongue twister. The silk slip skirt can be worn maybe for a daytime brunch, for an event, but it's not going to transition easily to every aspect of your life. Are you going to be wearing it to work or to daycare or pick up your kids at their soccer games? Probably not. So because it has a smaller spectrum of places it can go, it's more like destinations within your town. Places that you stop by frequently, but it's not the roads. It's not going to get you from all the places within your town. Now your costume pieces. Those are those unique, memorable, beautiful, soul-livening pieces that you just love. They are usually your favorite pieces in your wardrobe. Out in our little town, the costume pieces are like landmarks. They are like your Central Parks or your Mets. They don't fade into the background, they don't go with everything, and they are highly memorable. Now remember that every lifestyle is different and every style wardrobe will have different needs. If you work from home, you may have more loungewear needs than the average person. If you're in a creative field where self-expression is prioritized, your percentage of costume pieces will most likely be higher than most. Versatility and variety. Dun, dun, dun. Now, variety is super fun, but it is also a cohesion killer. A little bit of variety sprinkled in there makes you memorable, makes you unique. Too much variety and you have town square level chaos.
Town square.
Editing Gabby here. I meant Times Square. Times Square. So when evaluating the variety of your wardrobe, look at the silhouette, look at the lines it creates, look at the textures, look at the color palette, and make sure there's some common threads within all those pieces. Now, the power of separates. Separates should be the foundation of your wardrobe. Even if you have a vision board, brand board like this, you still need a lot of separates, and that is where your closet can fall apart. Separates allow you the flexibility and versatility to traverse all your lifestyle needs by mixing and matching. So separates are super helpful because when one piece wears down, it's very easy to replace it and it's not a budget strain. They allow you to create a lot of different outfit recipes, and they also allow you some fit flexibility. You can tuck things in, you can belt them. Dresses and jumpsuits, on the other hand, are great pieces to have within your wardrobe because yes, they are an outfit all in one, so they don't require as much thought and planning. However, if you ever feel bored or limited by your wardrobe, you probably have too many dresses and jumpsuits within it. Now, if you're really, really good at layering and that's your niche or your style, dresses can function the same way separates can, but that's a very unique category. Trends, classic pieces, and you're bored. So in my last video here, we went over finding your authentic style voice because we want our personal style to be personal. Now, if your wardrobe is properly balanced, adding a trend or two into it is no problem. So you really need to figure out your basics and your non-basic interest pieces before you start adding a lot of costume pieces or integrating trends into the mix. Because we need to make sure our town has the roads to get us from point A to B to C and not just a bunch of buildings with no ability to get anywhere. Now, the trouble with chasing trends, which is an especially deep, dark black hole, Number one, you never develop an authentic style voice because you're too busy chasing trends and not evaluating or understanding why you're even drawn to the trend. Is it something that speaks to you on a deeper level, or did you just see it look really cool on a celebrity or influencer? Number two, it leads you to change over your wardrobe completely every single season. So you never develop those basics, you spend a ton of money, and you still feel like you have nothing to wear. And number three, trends tend to have extreme design elements, which makes them highly memorable and very specific. So if you only have trends in your wardrobe, you end up being the Times Square of personal style. 95% of the clothes out there are part of the trend cycle. We've slowly seen this with the demise of the skinny jean, but in 1 to 2 decades, we'll be welcoming her back with open arms. Now, the reason your brand boards are so important and why you want to continue to hone and examine them, because they explain why you're drawn to certain silhouettes, why a trend might speak to you specifically, or why a trend might just be a fleeting crush. So let's look at an example. Silk slip dresses are very trendy right now. So if we go back to my vision board or my personal style foundation map, we see a lot of connection between the silk slip dress and my personal style goals. So this makes it a good non-basic interest piece for me. Now I can't have a wardrobe with 15 different silk slip dresses within it because we talked about the power of separates. Let's ask ourselves these questions before we go headfirst into a trend. Does it work for my lifestyle? As a non-basic interest piece for my personal lifestyle, yes. Works for events, brunches with friends, casual evenings out. Number two, does the silhouette actually work for my body? Feel good on my body? Does it harmonize with my body's lines? Or do you just like the way it looks on a 6-foot-tall model? Number three, is the color right? Because color can have a profound effect on your wardrobe's cohesion and also about how you feel in the color. Color ultimately affects how versatile and fluent an item can be within your wardrobe. Because if you have a wardrobe that looks like this, and this is the item, it's not going to be very fluent. This is where seasonal color palettes can come into handy. And number four, longevity. It's okay to add a one-season trend into your wardrobe, but you have to be careful to not disrupt the balance of your wardrobe or break your budget on those pieces. So for me, this silk slip dress was in my color palette. It fits my body shape and harmonizes with it. And I got it at a sample sale. So it's the right trend for me. Now remember that little questionnaire we did at the very beginning of this video? See if the answers from those questions match up with the trend. For me, my biggest wardrobe need was versatility. So the slip dress is a non-basic interest piece. And within that category, it is versatile. Let's look back at how we defined how we wanted to feel or appear in both professional and casual settings. This is where your brand board can also help. So if we look at my board, there is a hard lean towards romantic elements. Now, it has other elements within it, which is why it's a personal brand board. Does the silk slip dress fit the words I want to be described as? Yes. Does it fit my board or this section of my board? Yes. Therefore, it makes total sense to be integrated into my wardrobe. Troubleshooting the disconnect. So you understand how to categorize your clothing, you have your beautiful vision board, but it's just not all melding together. Your brand board is romantic, feminine, fantasy, enchanted. Your wardrobe has a ton of costume pieces, but your lifestyle is mostly work from home. How does it all work together? This will come down to a few steps. The first is your color palette. Your color palette should respect your coloring, but it should also reflect your board's aesthetic. This creates more bridges between all the different elements. Next, we want to evaluate an individual piece's clothing's line, texture, silhouette. I have a video on that here. Number three, finding your best style lines, which something like Kibby can help you do, so that you stop buying pieces that fit outside those style lines, so there's more focus to your wardrobe. Honing your style preferences. Do you like more structure in your garments or do you like more flowing garments? Do you like shorter hems? Do you like longer hems? Number five, examining the essence or energy of a piece of clothing or outfit. Does it match your brand board and does it match your personal adjectives that we went over in the questionnaire? Let's use our romantic, feminine, fantasy woman who has ball gowns in her closet and works from home as our example. So, her brand board looks like this. Figured out her color palette. She happens to be a soft summer. She's figured out her Kibbe ID. She happens to be a soft natural, which may or may not relate back to her brand board. We'll see. So what does her lifestyle need? Well, she works from home and she has Zoom calls that she needs to look professional for from the waist up. But she also works from home, so she wants to be somewhat comfortable. And she likes to stop by the coffee shop in the morning. Let's build her an outfit. This blouse, it's soft. It's a bit romantic, lush texture. The silhouette is simple, the color is in her palette, and it's giving the romantic feminine vibes she had on her board. Also, it's an open neckline, so for the soft natural, that's great. Plus, it looks professional enough from the waist up, which is what she needs. Jeans. She isn't going to be seen on her Zoom meetings from the waist down, so comfortable pair of jeans is a great option, especially since she's running to the coffee shop in the AM and needs a step above sweatpants to do that. These jeans fit her wardrobe non-negotiables. Easy to throw on, great fit, versatile. They're mom-style jeans, so they suit her soft natural needs and are not too constricting for sitting for long hours. And using the French tuck styling technique would capture that slight waist emphasis she needs. Now, we are still lacking some of that romantic fantasy energy that her board has. Here's where details come into play. Let's start with her hairstyle. Her hairstyle needs to be quick and simple because she wants to grab that coffee in the morning and she's low on time. So a soft, loose, low bun like this with a pretty silver hairpin like this fits that romantic vibe we're going for. So for jewelry, let's pick one piece of jewelry to add into her wardrobe, nothing too over the top. We want them to have kind of an antique, romantic vibe to them, but we also don't want them to interfere with her work or her Zoom calls or any of that. Remember, we asked you how you want to feel or appear in a professional setting. Her words were feminine, refined, and likable. She's in sales, so these all fit her lifestyle and actually her board. Are we accomplishing the melding of our look so far? I think yes. Is it princess over the top, stepping out of a fantasy movie? No. But does it work for her body, her color palette, her job, and her style goals? Yes. I think this was a good example, but if you have any personal style hurdles that you're experiencing with your board, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'm sure we can workshop and answer together. So the key to your personal style and wardrobe building is that you want to know where you want it to go. And you want to make sure that your destination is sound and you have the roads in place to get there. Someone emailed me and said, well, I feel like I have 3 different style identities and I don't know how they all work. So let's troubleshoot that for like 30 seconds really quickly, if this is your problem. So I also feel like I have 3 separate style identities. Now I did merge them into one board and I found a common thread through not only the energy of the board, but also me being the common thread and the color palettes. However, if you feel like you really can't meld them all into one board and there's just too many images, start with creating, let's say if you have 3 different style identities, 3 different boards. Try to pick one common thread throughout the board. That can be color palette, that could be essence, that could be energy. Now, your bridge pieces and basics are going to be incredibly important if you have 3 separate boards. Eventually, your goal will be to hone them down enough to fit them all into one board. But if you're really overwhelmed, you can have more than one board. However, find the common thread within the board and make sure you have those bridge pieces and basics in place so that you can get from board to board and understand the lifestyle needs for each of those boards. That doesn't mean you have multiple towns, but that means that your town has a different style aesthetic as you drive through it. You're multidimensional. You're like Brooklyn. Now, remember to evaluate every piece of clothing that you consider adding into your wardrobe. It needs to earn a space there. Next video. This is a democracy. This is a community. Where do you need style help? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, friends. Woo! Woo! Da, 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 da.